What's up, guys? Deke from Thoughts from the Bench here to give you the Deke Pick'ems. Obviously, as you can see, we're in a little bit of a different location. We are actually in my apartment. We couldn't get out to the studio today. Just some bad weather. So we're going to try it this way. Got this awesome new microphone arm for the podcast. Shout out to my brother Nico for getting me that. So we're going to try it this way. See what happens and send it over to Josh and see how annoying we can be. So yeah, last week, a little bit rough. Cool with it. Totally okay. I didn't cry that much after I got 3 of the picks wrong, but let's talk about that a little bit. First game that I want to get out of the way is Patriots-Titans. The one that I did call right. I'm pretty sure everyone saw that coming. Titans played how we expected them to. They did fire Coach Mike Mularkey after the game, which was kind of weird because they were talking about extending him, and he had a very good season. But I think that team is close. I think their defense needs a lot of work, but I think Derrick Henry's going to take a workload, and Marcus Mariota did okay, and Delaney Walker's still good. They just aren't caliber of the one. They're not the caliber of the Patriots. And 2, I just don't think they're playoff caliber yet. Not far off. And the Patriots, I mean, let's be real, they're destined to be one of the top teams every year in, week out, blah, blah, blah. That game was obvious. The second game that we should talk about is the Eagles versus Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons, for me, I thought played very well. I thought the game was a good game. I thought Nick Foles played decently well. I want to talk about the last play, obviously. There was a foul on Julio Jones, which was very annoying that it didn't get called. I just like to see things pan out and not be the ref's fault. But hey, that's football. He got up, had a complete chance to make the catch, and just missed. You know, he got mugged, he got missed. So the Eagles go on as underdogs. I'm okay with that miss. I like the Eagles. When Carson Wentz got hurt, it was a little bit of a question mark. I mean, I guess not a little bit. That question mark is huge for that team. The first underdog in the ranking era to be the number 1 seed. That is incredible. And they'll go in this week against the Vikings, probably being an underdog again. The next game is obviously the Vikings-Saints, which I would have had correct again if there wasn't this massive last-second amazing play. Case Keenum, 60-yard bomb to Stephon Diggs. The Saints corner is a young kid. Just missed the tackle. I mean, the Saints can't be too mad at themselves. Everyone really thought they were Super Bowl bound. Played a great game. Drew Brees is a stallion, and I think that kind of takes away from his conversation of being one of the elites. I guess, I mean, he is one of the elites. Don't get me wrong. Drew Brees is always going to be elite. But I think that really takes away from his one shining moment. This Super Bowl could have been his Peyton Manning walk-off. And then the last game that obviously hurt us all the most, the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I personally, I don't know what to say. We came out, played terrible, went down by 21-3. Like, it's ridiculous. The 4th and 1 calls, you give up on QB sneaks. You just do. I don't want to get too much into it, but let's be real. That onside kick screwed him at the end. So no, I'm not too mad about the picks from last week. Here's what it is. If a couple things go our way, we win it all. So let's get into this week. So this week, the first matchup I want to talk about is the Patriots versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars is one of the best defenses I've ever seen. I love them. I think they're amazing. They really do have the secondary pressure on the receivers. They have the upfront pressure on the quarterback, and this might be the one defense that can dethrone Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the kind of guy that wants to be comfortable in the pocket. He likes not really scrambling. He doesn't dink and duck. He can dissect. So this Jacksonville defense is the one team that might be able to counteract that in a good way. This is the team that obviously put the Steelers on their back twice this season. So I think the Patriots are going to have a tough game. It's a tough pick for me because Blake Bortles is still bad. Leonard Fournette had 3 touchdowns and almost he had 100 yards. But I don't know if he played that well versus we played very bad on defense. For me, though, I'm going to go with Jacksonville on this one. I understand that I'm probably going to be wrong, and I understand that it's the Patriots and Tom Brady, but I really like the way that Jacksonville's playing. And, I mean, maybe I probably should take the Patriots because my picks were bad last week, and if I take the Patriots, maybe they'll lose. But I'm going for it, man. Jacksonville Jaguars, Super Bowl bound. The past 7 seasons, I think it was, they had the top 5 or bottom 5 record in the NFL, worst record. So for me, it's Jacksonville. Bortles is going to Bortle his way to a Super Bowl, as pathetic as that is. And if I'm wrong about that one, whatever, it's the Patriots. The other matchup we got going on is the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Minnesota Vikings. The Jeff Fisher, we didn't want to be your quarterback bowl between Nick Foles and Case Keenum. These teams are playing out of their minds. I really enjoy watching the Vikings play. I think that their defense is elite. I think that their offense is still underrated somehow. Case Keenum is still thought of as this kind of terrible quarterback. And Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs aren't taken as serious as they should. Those are two legit wide receivers. The run game's great too. Latavius Murray, you can't really hate on him. Would love to see that team with Dalvin Cook. I really would. Dalvin Cook would be that dink and dunk third down back, but he also could be an all-down back. I think the way Latavius Murray came out, he's definitely the goal line guy. He's definitely the heavy guy. But really, that team with Dalvin Cook would be insane. And I think they have a big offseason coming up for the Vikings. Because if they can sustain that defense, if they can sustain their offense, they have three great quarterbacks for that system. Case Keenum, Sam Bradford, Teddy Bridgewater. I'm not saying that they are these all-time great quarterbacks, but when you have an offense that good, a line that's pretty good, good running backs, and a defense that's going to win you games, Bortles. Eagles for me, man, I would have loved to see them with Carson Wentz healthy. That would have been a fun team as much as I hate Philadelphia. That would have been a team that I would have been happy to kind of see in a Super Bowl. Now you got either Case Keenum or Nick Foles playing against either Tom Brady or Blake Bortles. Could you really sit there and tell me you're excited for a Blake Bortles versus Nick Foles Super Bowl? Case Keenum's at least been playing this way the whole season. This could be an outlier year for him, or maybe he's finally playing the way we all thought he would out of Houston, but really, you're going to tell me Blake Bortles and Nick Foles sound exciting? That all being said, I'm going with Minnesota. They keep biting me in the ass this year. They are the team that I pick against the most, and they win the most. It's extremely frustrating, and I kind of want to pick against them because I want to see them in the Super Bowl. And I feel like if I pick for them, they're not going to be as good. But I'm going with Minnesota. Philadelphia's played well, don't get me wrong. Philadelphia had a great game against Atlanta. Nick Foles is doing what they need him to do. LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi. Jay had some fumbling issues, which was disheartening. But their team is still good. Their team as a whole is still very good. Their offensive line is good. Nick Foles is not going to get pressured a crazy amount. It's scary elite. They're top 5 defense, if not top 3 in the NFL right now. Yeah, a lot of the teams are back at home, not playing, but you get my drift, where they would sit. For me right now, I was calling it the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Minnesota Vikings. It's a defense versus defense Super Bowl, and God, please, Jacksonville beat the Patriots. I don't think I can sit here and care about the Patriots anymore. I don't think I want to pretend that I enjoy seeing this team play. Yeah, I get it. I'm going to appreciate Brady when he's gone and Belichick when he's gone. No, I don't want the Patriots to be anywhere near the Super Bowl. I'd really want Jacksonville to crush them. So, guys, my picks this week, as I said, Minnesota, Jacksonville. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking out this video. I understand it's a little different. We don't really have the lights. We don't have the camera, the action. We're trying what we can. We're doing what we can. We know the roads are bad, so we're just going to try this out. So shout out to Thoughts from the Bench. Again, Deke at Thoughts from the Bench. The Instagram page is up and functioning, so please go follow at thoughtsfromthebench.com. The YouTube page is up. We're getting all the podcasts onto iTunes now, which is very exciting. I know that the Two Beers Deep podcast has hit a snag. It will start up again in February, and we're going to get it all on iTunes. Going to get it cut down. We're going to have an intro song. Very exciting stuff coming up. I do apologize for the wait on that. We also have John Fisher's wrestling podcast coming up soon, which is extremely exciting. Check out all the wrestling content, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, Indie. Everything these guys are putting out is super awesome. I'm so happy to have them under the umbrella of Thoughts from the Bench. And if you have any ideas, thoughts, comments, you know where to find me. Thanks.